So yeah, it was great just watching them, and then Blake choreographing and working with them and everybody. It was just, yeah.
Blake Lively probably thought this controversy was finally starting to fade away, but somehow every week brings a brand new twist that makes the entire situation look even more chaotic. And honestly, as more details keep surfacing, the public reaction toward Blake only seems to get worse. What started as drama connected to Justin Baldoni has now exploded into something much bigger, involving Hollywood friendships, legal filings, fashion connections, leaked negotiations, and even deeply personal family moments being pulled into the spotlight. Online, people are treating this whole thing like one giant celebrity soap opera that never ends. The newest wave of attention reportedly started after the Wayfarer parties responded to Blake Lively's attempt to have legal fees covered, and suddenly everyone realized this situation might not be ending anytime soon. Even if parts of the food have cooled off, both sides still seem to be taking indirect shots through court filings, media stories, insider comments, and carefully timed public reactions. Every new document or statement just adds more fuel to the fire. Then Mother's Day completely shifted the conversation again after Natasha Heath, the wife of Jaime Heath, shared her own birthing video online along with an emotional message that many people immediately interpreted as a direct response to Blake Lively. The timing caught everyone's attention because it came right as people were revisiting the earlier controversy surrounding the birthing video connected to the ends with us drama. Natasha Heath wrote about something sacred and meaningful being weaponized against her family, and the internet instantly connected the dots. A lot of people remembered the backlash surrounding how the video was allegedly described publicly, with Natasha and Jaime Heath reportedly feeling humiliated by the way the situation became part of a larger controversy. Now Natasha appears to be reclaiming that moment publicly, making it clear that she sees it as something beautiful rather than something shameful. That's why so many people online viewed her post as one of the strongest indirect responses aimed at Blake Lively so far, even though Natasha never mentioned her by name directly, and that seems to be the pattern lately. Every time the drama looks like it might finally calm down, someone connected to the situation speaks up again and reminds the public why the controversy became such a massive topic in the first place. Then there's the whole Met Gala gossip, making things even more complicated for Blake Lively behind the scenes. Rumors started spreading that Blake allegedly had trouble getting major fashion houses to dress her for the event until Anna Wintour supposedly stepped in to help make it happen. And if those reports are even partly true, people see it as a huge shift because Blake Lively used to be one of Hollywood's biggest fashion favorites. Designers once competed to have her wear their gowns. She had that polished, glamorous image that magazines, luxury brands, and red carpets absolutely loved. Now, though, insiders are claiming some fashion houses were hesitant about the association because they feared online backlash. Whether people support Blake or criticize her, it's obvious the public conversation around her has changed dramatically. Every time her name appears online now, comment sections instantly turn into arguments. Brands notice that kind of reaction fast because controversy can quickly become a business issue. Some reports even claim certain designers worried about being connected to what people online keep calling a mean girl image. That label has followed Blake Lively constantly throughout this entire situation. And once Hollywood starts attaching a specific reputation to someone, it becomes incredibly difficult to shake. Public perception in the entertainment industry can shift fast, but recovering from it is much harder. At the same time, Justin Baldoni's public image seems to be moving in the exact opposite direction. The more criticism Blake faces online, the more sympathy Justin appears to gain. A lot of people are now talking about him like he survived a massive Hollywood takedown attempt and came out stronger on the other side. That's why rumors about him possibly exploring It Starts With Us, the sequel to It Ends With Us, created such a huge reaction online. People started imagining how wild that comeback story would look if it actually happened. After months of lawsuits, headlines, and non-stop public controversy, Justin Baldoni potentially returning to continue the franchise would completely flip the narrative people expected at the start of this drama. The supporters online are already saying audiences would probably rally behind the project simply to support him. What surprised many people even more were reports claiming Justin Baldoni already owns the rights connected to both books. That suddenly changed how the public viewed the power dynamics behind the scenes because many assumed Blake Lively held far more influence over the future of the franchise. Instead, people began realizing Justin may have more control over potential sequels than originally believed. Then another major detail reportedly leaked from settlement discussions. According to reports, Blake Lively's side allegedly pushed hard for NDAs during negotiations, wanting strict limits on future interviews, podcasts, books, or public discussions connected to the controversy. The goal, according to these reports, was supposedly to keep the entire situation permanently buried from public conversation moving forward. But Justin Baldoni's side reportedly refused those conditions completely. and that detail reignited online debate almost instantly because people began interpreting the disagreement in very different ways. Blake's critics started asking why there would be such a strong push for silence if her side felt fully confident about the situation publicly. Meanwhile, supporters argued it may have simply been an attempt to stop the endless media circus surrounding everyone involved. Still, the internet immediately picked sides again, and suddenly the drama was back in full force. Justin Baldoni's supporters especially began treating him like a Hollywood survivor figure because instead of disappearing quietly, reports now suggest he's already thinking about future projects and career moves. That completely changes the narrative compared to the beginning of the controversy. Early on, there were constant claims that Justin Baldoni's career was supposedly finished, that studios would avoid him, and that Hollywood insiders wanted distance from the entire situation. But over time, people noticed those claims were usually tied to unnamed insiders or anonymous sources rather than public statements from actual executives or studios. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni still has his production company, his audience, and a growing group of loyal supporters online. And in today's entertainment industry, strong audience support can sometimes matter more than behind-the-scenes rumors. If the public continues supporting someone strongly enough, studios often follow where the attention and money go. That's why more people are now saying Justin Baldoni could actually emerge from this controversy with an even stronger fan base than before. The public often gravitates toward underdog narratives, and at the moment many people see Justin Baldoni in that light. While Blake Lively appears to be dealing with renewed scrutiny at the same time, old stories continue resurfacing. According to various reports, she is allegedly working on a Hollywood comeback strategy aimed at shifting attention away from lawsuits and negative headlines and back toward her earlier image as a charming romantic comedy star. However, online reaction has made that transition difficult, with one insider claiming she has been deeply affected by how much the controversy has overshadowed her long-standing success in television and film. Before all of this, Blake Lively's public image was widely seen as carefully polished, built around red carpet glamour, fashion influence, a high-profile relationship with Ryan Reynolds, and a generally light, witty media presence that made her feel almost untouchable in Hollywood culture. Now, however, nearly every discussion about her seems to spark intense online debate, and some commentators argue that the legal dispute and surrounding publicity have done more long-term damage to her reputation than the original It Ends With Us promotion period ever did. Others compare the situation to the Barbra Streisand effect, where attempts to control or challenge a narrative can unintentionally amplify it. Further, while early criticism during the film's promotional cycle eventually would have likely faded like most entertainment controversies do, the addition of lawsuits, filings, alleged leaked communications, and ongoing insider commentary has kept the story constantly active and self-reinforcing in the public eye. Reports also suggest she would like to return to romantic comedy roles in hopes of rebuilding audience goodwill. Though online reactions to that idea have been mixed and often sarcastic, at the same time, attention has shifted toward her future projects, with some observers noting that several IMDb-listed titles appear to lack visible momentum, which has fueled speculation and gossip about her current standing in the industry. The scrutiny has also extended beyond her acting career into her business ventures, including renewed criticism of her haircare brand, Blake Brown, where past customer complaints about product performance and experience are being recirculated and amplified in light of the ongoing controversy. As a result, nearly every aspect of her public and professional life, endorsements, interviews, and brands is being viewed through the same critical lens. Even her past statements about spending years developing her haircare line have recently been revisited online, with some users questioning the timeline and raising doubts, adding yet another layer to an already heavily discussed situation. Some industry voices have also weighed in, pointing out that most celebrity beauty brands are not built entirely by the celebrity themselves, but are developed with large teams of chemists and product experts handling the technical side. Because of that, Blake Lively's business ventures have now also become part of the wider gossip cycle surrounding her name. The latest development in the legal situation involves attorney's fees, which has added yet another unexpected layer. Even after the settlement phase, reports suggest Blake Lively is attempting to recover legal costs from Justin Baldoni's side, arguing that California law offers certain protections against retaliatory legal actions tied to her original claims. However, supporters of Baldoni have mocked the move online, suggesting she could end up spending more on continued legal disputes than she might realistically recover. Legal observers have also noted that any potential recovery may not be as large as the public imagines, especially compared to the scale of the overall controversy. Blake's legal team is also reportedly referencing language from the settlement itself, including phrasing about her right to be heard, arguing it supports the idea that her claims were made in good faith rather than malicious intent. Baldoni's supporters dispute that interpretation, arguing that such wording does not automatically determine wrongdoing or liability. This back and forth highlights how celebrity legal disputes often shift into battles over interpretation, where individual phrases become heavily analyzed and reinterpreted by both sides and the public. A key issue now is whether Blake Lively must demonstrate that her lawsuit was not filed with malice in order to access certain legal protections or recover fees. Critics argue that proving intent is inherently complex, since it involves determining a person's mindset at the time of filing. Legal analysts have also suggested that the outcome may not be as straightforward as either side is presenting publicly. At the same time, critics continue to highlight the fact that some of Blake's original claims did not survive the legal process, which has become a repeated talking point online and continues to influence public perception. As a result, her reputation is being debated across multiple fronts at once: legal arguments, public image narratives, fashion and brand discussions, and ongoing internet commentary, making the situation unusually difficult to control from a PR standpoint. Meanwhile, Justin Baldoni's public image has evolved in a very different direction online, with supporters portraying him in a more positive, resilient light as he continues working on projects and maintaining